Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to AS Roma Theory. Now, it's the day after, which in some ways is even worse than the actual day, and it's always like this, the next day you really get those intense negative vibes. But I want to start this live stream by saying a quote, a very famous quote from, we all know who Michael Jordan is, which I think perfectly sums up the ambience that we received in yesterday's performance, the vibes that we received in yesterday's performance. And this quote is, I can accept failure. Everyone fails at something. Failure is a big part of success. But I cannot accept not trying. And this is a perfect definition, a perfect description of yesterday's match. Because yesterday we got battered by a very decent team, but it's a match which we didn't lose because they were Real Madrid, but it's a match we lost because of ourselves, and it's a match we lost because we gave absolutely nothing in yesterday's pitch. And we can say everything that we want, but if we don't try, if we don't fight, if we don't perform, but especially if we don't react to our own mistakes, we're not going anywhere here. And this is why it's a match which we killed ourselves in. We stabbed our heart in this match. We didn't let Udinese stab us. We let ourselves stab ourselves. Because we have a problem. And this problem is conceding very early. Conceding very, very early. Because that morally kills us. We do not react to our own mistakes. Korstock bottles it. You expect a reaction. No, what do? We don't react. Because, you see, a team which yesterday would have fought, would have put the balls in yesterday's match, would have at least found a goal. Because at the end of the day, I think, as I said before, I think, failure is a big part of success. I'm not saying anything here, but it kind of depends how you lose. And what I think needs to be really, in a way, understood is the fact that there is nothing, what needs to be really clarified here is that I hope this is an accident rather than a suicide. And if you don't get this example, I really hope this is an accident to ourselves. We just slipped a match. And I really hope that this isn't a long term. I really hope nothing backstage happened. I really hope that this was just one of those negative matches, and after this, we get back playing. Because what is really, I think, what is the big risk of this performance is that this performance can start a potential crisis. I think it's very early in the season, to even mention these words. But it's important to not let this performance slip away from us controlling it. Because we lost this match 4-0, we cannot be thinking about this match anymore. We really cannot. We don't have the time to think about this match anymore. What Mourinho needs to do here is grab the mistakes from this match and just throw it in the bin. Because otherwise, this will have a long-term impact. And the second we have a long-term impact, when we're playing back-to-back matches every 2 days, coming towards the World Cup, we've got Atalanta in a bit, we've got Inter in a bit, we've got Europa League matches in between. If we let this match slip away from ourselves and have the control of our other performances, we're going to lose points. And we're going to lose so many points. And this season, just because it's a weird season because of the World Cup, this season coming towards the World Cup is the most important part of the season, because there are going to be injuries in the World Cup. In fact, we are lucky when it comes to the World Cup side that we don't have many players going, and I do think after yesterday's performance under the eyes of Gareth Southgate, I don't think either Smalling or Tammy will get a call up. So I think this is positive news for us. But again, another thing which needs to be mentioned, which I mentioned yesterday, is this is everyone's fault. Yesterday's match is everyone's fucking fault. You know, I think blaming one person is disrespectful to the team, because everyone needs to have responsibilities and everyone needs to have the courage of saying it was our fault today. Because another thing which this thing never happened, but I'm saying what could have happened in another team, I don't think this happened in our team just because of the manager we have, and I think we've got a very good manager when it comes to the mental side of these players. So I don't think this happened. But what could have happened in any other team, or even in this team without having Mourinho on the bench, was someone started going, it's his fault, it's Karsdorp's fault. I mean, no, it's Karsdorp's fault. He made me lose control of this match. And that is where we really lose the respect to everyone in this team. Everyone needs to have the balls to say that it was their fault. Everyone. I don't want to say someone going, it was Karsdorp's fault. And this isn't just on the behalf of the players, this is on the behalf of the fans. Yes, Karsdorp played a big part in our defeat. But if we need to blame anyone, and we do out of yesterday's performance, we need to blame the team. This is a team sport. If we lose, it's the team who loses. If we win, it's the team who wins. So that is very important, and I think if you listen to the press conference, I think Mourinho was very, very class when it comes to this, because Mourinho took full responsibilities. And I think, obviously, he needs to say that because he's the boss of this, he's the manager of this team. And I don't think it's just Mourinho's fault. It is also Mourinho's fault, 100%. It's everyone's fault. I think everyone needs to be blamed. And when I say everyone, literally everyone, even the players who were sitting on the bench need to be blamed yesterday. It's everyone's fault. And I think Mourinho got the decisions extremely wrong yesterday. You cannot start Karsdorp when Cilic came from a solid performance against Monza, and you cannot start Spinazzola and Zalewski was coming from a great performance against Monza. These are two players which you could easily start on Thursday, but it won't happen. Mourinho won't start these two players after yesterday's result. If we would have won yesterday's match 4-0, then Karsdorp would have started on Thursday, and everyone would have, every substitution player plus some experienced players would have started. Now, beware. My predicted 11 for tomorrow, for Thursday's match, it's going to be the same as yesterday. No changes whatsoever. Because if we were to lose points on Thursday, that just has such a negative impact on our morale. And Thursday's match has now become more important than the Serie A match that we're playing next Monday, just because we cannot lose back-to-back matches. So everyone needs to be blamed. But Mourinho was class yesterday because he took responsibilities. He took responsibilities in front of the mic and said, it's my fault. I say sorry to the players. I say sorry to the fans. And that was class, because many managers would have just blamed the players after yesterday's performance. So that is definitely something to be highlighted. Now, again, this match is really a match where player ratings can kiss my ass. It's one of those matches where if people think about player ratings, they are wrong. Player ratings after such a performance is the last thing we could see. And in fact, that is exactly why everyone got roughly the same vote. Because it's the team which was poor. It's the overall team performance which lacked. Everyone gets a bad vote. But I'm not going to stake too much time on the player ratings just because it's useless. It is absolutely useless to talk about player ratings. What is even more important, and it's exactly what I'm going to do, is speak about some of our tactic problems. There are two big problems in this team, and these two problems are very major problems. I mean, you can win matches without these two things, but it makes things 10 times harder. Two big problems are these. The first big problem is the speed of the team. Udinese yesterday, and I said this exact same sentence, which I'm about to say in yesterday's live watch along. Udinese yesterday looked like they were sitting on Lewis Hamilton's car, and it looked like we were sitting on Cinderella's pumpkin cart. Speed is something which, if we don't improve now, we're going to lose so many points. Udinese, Atalanta are very fast teams. We have no speed. We just really have no speed. All we do is slow passes. No. How do you score if you play like that? And the second thing, which I think is even more important than the speed concept, is creativity. We do not have creativity whatsoever. And that's a big problem. That's a big problem because no speed, no creativity, mash them up together, what comes out? What comes out is a team which steps up in a football pitch and doesn't have a clue of what they're doing. We don't have creativity. We don't risk. All we do is back passes, slow passes, and 80% of these passes aren't even accurate passes. So, I obviously, I don't expect this team to kind of become De Bruyne, these players. But I expect us to be more creative, to risk more, because otherwise it's going to be so hard for us to score. And it's going to be so easy for them to score as well. So, again, Tammy is a ghost. And Tammy yesterday got subbed off for a shoulder injury. It's just a shoulder. Basically, it's absolutely nothing. The only match that he will be potentially at risk is the Thursday match against Ludogorets. And even if he wasn't injured, I would have 100% rested Tammy. And I think Mourinho will rest Tammy. Even if he is available, even if he's back from his shoulder injury, we will see Belotti start on Thursday. Tammy Abraham is living a very tough moment. He's living a very tough moment. We can't deny this. He's been put in this tornado of pressure. One, because he feels like he needs to perform like last season, and the fact that he isn't performing in these team against these teams in these matches, he's already imposing this weight. Second thing, now with the arrival of Belotti, he's under pressure because he knows that if he doesn't perform, Belotti, Tammy just needs to relax. And I would consider putting Tammy on the bench for 2 consecutive matches. I know it might sound bad for his reputation, for his football career, but it's important for him. And, again, everyone was poor yesterday. The only player which, as you can probably see, saved themselves was Dybala. But again, yes, I don't expect Dybala to do everything by himself, but I kind of expect more as well. And it's feel like I'm controversial here because he can't do everything by himself. If he doesn't get support from Tammy, from Pellegrini, Dybala's useless. But I have the feeling Pellegrini, Tammy, Dybala just still need to get that sticking together, playing together, because they're not performing well, and that's the reality. So, again, one thing which I will conclude on is, let me see if I'm missing. Oh yeah, the last thing which I will say is that the weird thing isn't the 4-0 for me. The weird thing for me is the fact that this match came after average performances. As I said yesterday, I would have understood this match after the 6-1 Bodo game. The team is demoralized and everything. But this match just was a boulder lightning in the middle of everything. We were playing solid. I'm not saying we were playing perfectly, but we were an average team. We're a good team. We won in the matches we had to win. We grabbed a draw at Inter. We were first in the league and all of that. And then bang, sudden 4-0. That doesn't make sense to me. And that is why I really hope it's just us tumbling down for one match. Which happens. I'm not saying it doesn't happen. And it will happen again. But now it's time to grow again. And I will conclude this stream on something very important. Roma fans are based on love and passion. And as much as it's frustrating, it's gutting to see your team play like this. It is. Trust me, it truly is. It really is. It's frustrating. It really is frustrating. It's these moments which I think where we really need to be united, where we really need to stick together, and where I please ask everyone, unless you're a hater, because there are going to be haters here, unless you're someone who placed a bet on Roma yesterday, didn't win the 10k, you're mad at yourself, you're mad at the team, you're mad at everyone. If you're a real Roma fan, and, subscribers of this channel, I'd say a ratio, part of them are here just because of betting and all of that. But most of you here are here because of the passion of this team, the passion of these fans, the passion of this city. What I don't want to see is comments after one match. I know it was an embarrassing match, but I do not want to see comments going, Roma's dead. This is the downfall of Roma. This is the earthquake in the middle of a tsunami in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. This is truly just a war in between Roma players. Avoid that, please. Avoid that. Really avoid that. Because I don't care what you think. But those are comments where I understand your frustration, and I totally understand comments which go, this performance was embarrassing, he needs to start performing well, Pellegrini was shit yesterday, Tammy was shit yesterday, but I don't get people who say everything else that is just combined. It just feels like you're just exaggerating. Everyone feels like World War III just started and all of that. Because as we've seen last season, after the 6-1 Bodo defeat, these are matches which make us grow. These are matches which change the mentality of the team overall. And if there is one thing which I can add, is that in these moments, I think a manager like Mourinho is the perfect manager to have. Because Mourinho plays so much with your mental, with your mental confidence and all of that. So, please avoid certain comments, because that to me means absolutely anything, and that to me shows that you aren't a Roma fan. And this is a Roma channel. I'm a Roma fan. Obviously, I'll defend my team. I'll criticize the team when I need to criticize the team, but I will not over-exaggerate anything. This is the first, the first defeat of the season. It's a bad defeat. It's a really bad defeat. But after this defeat, do I start saying, Mourinho out? Oh, this is the downfall of Roma. World War III just started. No one wants to play for this. No, avoid that. Avoid that. Because as I said before, it's these moments which we really need to be united. And I'm sure that this will be such a growth lesson for these players. So, at the end of the day, it is what it is. We lost 4-0. It's an embarrassing display and all of that. But yeah, I'm gutted as well. But I'm sure we'll be back. Now we've got another match to think on. Forget about this match. It happened. Let it happen. Let everyone laugh on it. We've got Ludogorets on Thursday. We have to think about that. And yeah, I'll catch you tomorrow for the match preview or our first Europa League game of the season. If you haven't already, make sure to smash the subscribe button. Make sure to smash the like button. Follow me on Instagram or then in the orange box over at Simon_ASO_. We will be back. And if there is one thing which I'm 100% convinced about, is exactly this. We will be back. Did Roma buy Solbakken from Bodo? The two sides are closer, but not official yet. But I'll keep you updated when it comes to that. So yeah, I'll catch you soon. Simon out.